Right, welcome to my channel, Jules Craft Room, and we're doing the Hearts and Flowers cowl, week 5, and this is part 1. So this is making the central flower in the middle there, and that's going to go in between these two, which I think they're going to tell us how to put it all together in week 6. So yeah, and that's next week, and then it'll be done. I love doing it. It's such a beautiful colours. It really is gorgeous. And so far I haven't run out of yarn, so fingers crossed I make it to the end. And I've used a 4mm hook throughout, so I'm very pleased about that, because I've heard lots of people have run out, which is really annoying. So yes, so let's turn you around and we'll do the flower in the middle there together. Right, so week 5 of the Hearts and Flowers cowl, we are doing this beautiful large frilly flower, and we're starting off with biscuit. This is your biscuit colour, and I'm going to do a slip knot, and then I'm going to do 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you do a slip stitch into the first of your first stitch of your 4 chain. So through there and through there, and that's your circle. You can do a magic circle if you want to, but I'm doing a 4 chain circle. Then you do 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a treble. And you are going to do 12 trebles. So make sure you're going in the middle. One, 2, 3, and if you carry on, so you've got 12 trebles, and then slip stitch them together. Right, so you should have slip stitched into the top of the 3 chain, and you should have 11 trebles plus a 3 chain, which counts as a treble, so 12 altogether. And now we're going to start off with the deep rows. So I like to do another slip knot, so that stops things coming undone, but you do whatever you want to do. And it says you can start anywhere along here, so I'd like to start opposite the end so that I can weave in this end and then that end as I go round. And it says to do a treble, it says to join between any treble stitches, so in between, not actually in the stitch, in between. So that's what we're going to do. And you do 3 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, and then it says to do a treble into the same space. And that should be, and then it says to treble into the next space between the treble stitches and repeat to the end. So you go around doing 2 trebles in between each of the trebles from before. That's 1, 2, and again you find the space between the trebles, and you do 2 trebles in the rows. 1, 2, and as you can see, I'm weaving in this end as I go along to keep it tidy. And you do that all the way round, and you should end up with 24 trebles, including this 3 chain, which is a treble. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, so when you get to the end, you should have 24 trebles in groups of 2, which I have got. And you can see how you've done 2 trebles in between each of those single trebles from before. So you started off with 12 and now you have 24 in the pink, and you slip stitch it together. And then we're going to change to the gilt colour for round 3. Right, so we've got our gilt colour, and basically we're doing the same, but this time we're increasing to 36 stitches. So whereas we went in between those ones with 2 trebles, now we're going to go in between the spaces between the 2 with 3. So I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to do 3 chain. And then you do 2 trebles into the same space in between the 2 sets of 2 of the pink one. So you've now got a set of 3 there. And then when you go to this space here, you'll do 3 in there, and then 3 in there, and you'll go all the way round until you meet at the end and slip stitch into that 3 chain. So I'll see you at the end of this row. Right, so when you get to the end, you slip stitch into the 3 chain. I would recommend double checking that you have got 3 trebles in each section, because if you've missed one when you got carried away, it will put your stitch count out, and you'll have problems later. But you should have 36 stitches, 36 trebles. And then we start round 4. Now we don't cut the thread this time, we're continuing in the gilt. So it says here to 2 chain. It says it does not count as a stitch. And then it says to 4 treble into the front loop only of the next stitch. So the front loop. Now that is the front loop. That is the front loop. So 4 trebles into there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 trebles into there. It then says slip stitch into the front loop of the next treble. So this one here, you just slip stitch into there. And that's the start of your petal. And then it says to repeat that, and you should end up with 18 petals and 18 slip stitches. So 4 trebles into the front loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this next stitch, just the front loop, you slip stitch. And that's what it should look like. And you do that all the way round, and I'll meet you up at the end. Right, so when you get to the end, just slip stitch into the base of that chain that you did to start off with. And fasten off, because we're changing colour now. Right, I would check, so make sure you've got 18. Right, so it should look like that, and I've counted and I've got 18 of the petals. So I'm now going to move on to the next round, which is round 5, and you're adding the mauve. And you'll be adding it to the back of this. And you can go into any back loop round the back. So that's the back loop there, and that's where you'll be going in, any of those. So here we are, and you're going to be doing 3 chain. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do 1 treble into the same space. 1, it's 1 treble into the same space. Now you're going to do 1 treble into the back loop of each of the next 2 stitches. So there's the back loop. Do 1 treble, and again the next stitch you're going to find the back loop, then you're going to do 2 trebles into the back loop of the next stitch. So we find the back loop of the next stitch, and we're going to do 2 trebles in that one. That's 1, 2. So we have done 2 trebles in that stitch, 1 in each of the next stitches, next 2 stitches, and then 2 into this stitch. And you're going to repeat that until the last 2 stitches. So we're going to be doing 1 in each, so 1 in that one, 1 in that one, and then 2 in the next one. That's 1, 2, and you're going to carry all the way round until the last 2 stitches. Right, so when you get to the last 2 stitches, you continue doing your 1 treble into each of them. And then you slip stitch into the top of the first one. And you should have 48. I've counted mine and I have 48. If you haven't 48, you need to go back and see where you've gone wrong. But you should have 48 trebles. And then we'll continue with the mauve for round 6. And you 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then you 1 treble into the same place, so that'll be in there. Then you 1 treble into each of the next 3 stitches. So that will be 2, 3. And then you do 2 trebles in the next stitch, and then you repeat that. So you do 1, 2. So you are doing 3 individual trebles and then 2 together all the way round, and I'll see you at the end. So when you get to the last 3 stitches, you do 1 treble in each of them. And then you slip into the top of the 3 chain. And you should have 60. So it's a good idea to check. I always check, because if you go wrong here, then the whole thing will be out. So you can see where you are, where you joined. So you can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. So I have 60 stitches. Right, so when you've got your 60 stitches, you continue again with this yarn. And you do 2 chain, 1, 2. This does not count as a stitch, and then you do 5 trebles into the front loop only of the next stitch. So 5 trebles, so that's the front loop. And you do 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it tells you to slip stitch into the front of the next stitch, front loop only. And then you repeat that all the way round, and you'll end up with 30 treble petals, which you'll need to check at the end. So 5 trebles into the next front stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then slip stitch into this one here, and that's what it will look like. And you're going to go all the way round and end up with 30 of these, and I'll see you at the end here. Right, so when you get to the end, you slip stitch into the last stitch, and what I'm doing is I'm just pulling that to the back there, out the way. I've counted, and then I'll be weaving it in at the end. I've counted, and I have 30 of these little petals, so I know I'm got the correct number of stitches. And now we're changing back to the deep rose, and going to start round 8. So round 8, you'll join into the back loop of any of these stitches. So find the back loop, and you're going to do 3 chain. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do a treble in the same place. 1, and then you're going to do 1 treble into the back loop of the next 4 stitches, and then 2 in the back of the next stitch, and you're going to repeat that. So you're going to be doing 2, 4, 2, 4. So this is our 2. Now we're going to do 4 separate trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, all into the back loop, and then you're going to do 2 into the next stitch. 1, 2 into the same stitch, and you're going to do that all the way around. So you're going to be doing 2 into 1 and then 4 separate 2 into 1. So again, you do 4 and then 2 into the same stitch, all into the back loop, and go all the way round, and then you should have 72 stitches at the end. Right, so it's coming on. So there we are. I have 72 trebles, which is what you should have as well. It's a beautiful flower. I'm loving this. And we're on to round 9. We're sticking with the deep rose, and this time we're increasing again, and we're going to be doing 3 chain. That's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 1 treble into the same place. Go down here, and it's a whole stitch, I think. So one treble into the same place. There we are. And then we're going to be doing 1 treble in each of the next 5 stitches, and then we're going to do 2 in the next. So it's going to be 2, 5, 2, 5. So 5 singles. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the next stitch. That's 1, 2, and then we're going to do another 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 into the next stitch. Two into there, and you can do that all the way along. 5, 2, 5, 2, right to the end. Right, so at the end of round 9, you should have 84 trebles, and I've counted mine and I've got 84, and that's what it'll look like. And then we continue with this colour on round 10, and this time we're going to be doing 2 chain, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 6 trebles into the front loop of the next stitch, and then slip stitch into the front loop of the next stitch. So we're going to do more petals. So there's the front loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're slip stitching into the next stitch and just in the front loop, and that's what you're going to go all the way around. So 6 trebles in the next stitch, slip stitch the stitch after, all the way round, and you should end up with 42 petals. So you'll need to check that at the end. So someone's sitting on my yarn. So front loop, 6 trebles, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then slip stitch into the next one. So that's what it's going to look like all the way along. Okay, I'll see you when we get to the end. Okay, so I've finished round 10 and I've got 42 of these lovely little petals all the way around, and that is the main part of the flower finished. And now you need to get your cream. Hopefully you have some. This is all I've got left at the moment. Hopefully you'll have some left, and you're going to look at the back and you're going to be working in the back loops. So find a back loop to go into and join your thread. Like that. And you're going to start off with doing 1 chain, and that counts as a double crochet, which is unusual. And then you're going to do a double crochet into the back of the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to do a half treble in the back of the next 2. So that's a yarn over, and there's a stitch, pull all the way through, that's 1, yarn over, pull all the way through, that's 2. That's 2 half trebles. Then you're going to do a treble into the back loop of the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to do your corner, which will be 1 treble, 2 chain and 1 treble, all in the same stitch, and that'll be your corner. And then you're going to start your repeat, and I've written it down here so I know. So your repeat is 1 treble into the next 4 stitches, 1 half treble into the next 2, 1 double crochet into the next 8, then 1 half treble into the next 2, 1 treble into the next 4, and then your corner. And you're just going to repeat that twice more, and then you'll finish that other little bit afterwards. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll get back to you when we get to the when we've done the second repeat. Right, so when you get to the repeat from twice, then you get to 1 treble in the next 4 stitches. So we've just done the corner, and we 1 treble in the next 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 2 half trebles. That's 1, 2, and then we should have 4 stitches left to do our doubles in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you slip stitch into the first one, which is there, and you should have 22 stitches along each side and 4 corners. So there's my corners, and I should have 22 stitches along each side. So I will check that in a minute, and then we'll be on to round 12. So you've got a choice of either fastening off and starting in one of the corners, or you can carry on from where you are. I'm going to carry on from where I am, so I don't have to fasten off and rejoin. So you do 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do a treble to the corner in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it'll be 10 stitches to the corner, and then you're going to do the corner space, which will be 2 trebles, 2 chain, 2 trebles, all in the corner space. That's 1, 2, 2 chain, 1, 2, and 2 more trebles. 1, 2, and then you work along here, and you should have a total of 26 stitches across here, including the corner ones, when you finish. So that's how you check. Okay, so I'll meet you back here when we go round. Oh, before I go, remember, don't forget that hidden stitch, often hidden by these, but pull that corner back and that's the hidden stitch. So that'll be your first stitch when you start doing these trebles all the way round. Right, so I've finished round 12, and I've counted, and I've got 26 trebles in between each of these corner holes. So 26 along there, 26 along there, 26 there, 26 there. So I've got as many as I should have, and that's what it looks like. It's looking good. I just love this flower, it's beautiful. And round 13 is the same as round 12, so you do exactly the same, but you will end up with 30 trebles at the end because you'll be putting 2 extra in each corner. So that will bring the 26 up to 30. So if you go round doing trebles to here, then 2 trebles, 2 chain space, 2 trebles in each corner, and then trebles all the way round with 30 in each lot, and that will be round 13, and I'll see you for round 14. Right, so I've finished round 13, and I've 30 trebles from each corner, and now we're going to change to the zest colour, which is this lovely sort of luminous green. And we can start in a corner. So I'm going to start in this corner. I'm going to join. And that's 1, 2, 3. Right, so 3 chain and then 1 treble, because the 3 chain counts as a treble, and then 2 chain and then 2 treble, all into the same corner space. 1, 2, and that will be your corner. And now you're going to do, it's going to be different this time. So then you're going to miss 2 treble. So 1, 2, you'll miss 2 treble, and then your 2 treble into that space. So 1, 2, like that. And you'll do that 14 times until you get to the corner. So miss 2 and then do another 2 into the space. It's 1, 2, miss 2, another 2 into the space. Oops. And go along there, and you should have 16 sets on each side, including the corner. Right, so I've done that side. So we've got our corners, and then we've got our 2 treble clusters in each of the spaces between 2 trebles. So it says I should have 16 sets. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is correct. So now I'm going to go round the other sides doing exactly the same, and then we'll be on round 15. Right, so now round 15 is a little bit different. We'll be joining the cream back up. So let's join that into the corner, any corner, and we'll be doing 3 chain. 3. And then you'll do a treble. Then 2 chain space, 2 chain, and then another treble and another treble. Like that. And then what you're going to do differently here, instead of doing your 2 trebles in here, you're going to do it between the previous 2 trebles. So you can do it in there. So you'll do a treble in there. And another one in there. And that's making a V-stitch because you're pulling those apart. And then the next stitch, again, you'll go in between the 2 that you did on the previous round. So there. And again. And you'll carry on doing that all the way around, remembering to do your corners. And you should end up with 16 V's at the end. 2 sets of trebles in your corner spaces. Right, and we'll be fastening off because we'll be changing colour. So I'll see you at the end. Right, so now in you can see how we've got the V's all the way along. And now on row 16 we're going to be using the gilt colour. And we're going to be starting off in the corner here. So join. And we're going to be doing 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then another treble into the corner space. Then we're doing 2 chain, and then we're doing 2 trebles into the corner space. That's 1, 2. And then on this round we're going to do a treble in every stitch. So when you start, remember to do that hidden stitch here. Don't forget that. And do a treble in every stitch. So all the way along. All the way along. and you should have 40 trebles on each side. And obviously you do your corner as before, 2 trebles, 2 chain, 2 trebles in every corner end. Okay, so I'll see you at the end of round 16. Right, so that's it with the gilt round it. And yes, looking so pretty, isn't it? So now you should have 40 stitches round each side, 40 trebles, and we're now going to do round 17, which is with the deep rose, and we're going to join in any corner with a 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and this time that she wants you to do 2 trebles into the chain space, same chain space, so that's 1, 2, then do 2 chain, and then do 3 trebles, all in the same chain space. That's 1, 2, 3. Right, so that's the corner. So you've got the 3 chain space, 2 trebles, then you've got 2 chain, and then you've got 3 trebles. Then you start along here, and it says to miss 2 stitches, so miss 2 trebles and then put, oh, I just want to catch that, and then do 3 trebles into that chain, into that space. Like that. So you've missed 2 trebles and you 3 chained into the space. Then you miss 3 trebles, and you do that 12 times all the way along, and then when you get to the end, the last one, you'll have 2 stitches left, so you'll just do between the 2. So now you're going to miss 3, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, and you'll do 3 trebles in that space there. That's 1, 2, 3. And again, miss 3, and then 3 into the space. 1, 2, 3. And that's what it should look like. So you miss 2 the first time, and then you miss 3, and then 3, all the way along. Right, so that's what it should look like. So you've just missed 2 there, then you've missed 3, doing 3 trebles into each space, and then when you get to this end, you've just got 2 at the end, and then you do your 3 trebles, 2 chain space, 3 trebles, miss 2, and then you carry on missing 3. So that's what your corners look like. And it's coming on nicely, isn't it? Loving the colours. Right, so I'm going to finish that row, and I'll see you at the end. Right, so now we are on round 18. So yours should look like this. And I think this is the last row before we work either side. So you're using cream again. I hope you've got some cream. I've got that much left, so I'm hoping. It's like plain yarn chicken. I don't know how much cream we need for some of the other rows. So I don't think we use it again. I think this might be the last time we use it. So if I can get round this square, I'll be laughing. Right, so in the corner space, join, and you're doing 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and we're doing 2 trebles. That's 1, 2, 2 chain, 1, 2, and then 3 trebles. 1, 2, 3. So that's what it should be like. And then you're going to miss 3 trebles and then 3 treble into the chain space, and you're going to do that all the way along. So miss 3 and then go into this chain space. That's 1, 2, 3. Again, miss 3 and then in this chain space do 3 trebles. 1, 2, 3. And again into this space, 3. 2, and that's what it should like. And you should do that all the way along, and hopefully I'll have enough cream to finish, and I'll see you at the end. Right, well, would you believe it? I finished with that much yarn left. So I believe I'm very lucky, because a lot of people ran out ages ago. So I'm chuffed that I managed to finish all the way round without having to buy any more yarn.